I couldn't get this many of my friends to show up to my wake, let alone this. This is great. Only because Will said it, I've been accused of looking like Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish. And I had to explain to this guy, I was like, oh, you look like Darius Rucker. He was like, I don't know who the fuck Darius Rucker is. He looks like fucking Hootie. I'm like, the guy you're talking about, there is no Hootie in Hootie and the Blowfish. It's the whole band, guy. Like, he was like, who the fuck is Darius Rucker? You look like Hootie, brother. I was like, motherfucker. The last time I've been in Sayville. I went to school in West Hampton, so we played West Hampton in basketball, all white team versus my pretty much all white team instead of me. As I came here today, I see not a lot has changed. I went the way that the directions took me, ways that took me by the high school, and there was 3 white girls playing soccer, and I was like, what in the Mexicans is going on here? Where are your browns? Like, where are you? The white girls playing soccer and just in an open field? It was like, this is crazy. Nuts. But yeah, as I went through town too, I was like, there's no, the Chinese people at the little eatery over here, they looked at scared waiting outside. They saw me, they were like, she ushered the girl back and she was like, look, they're coming. I was like, all right, I guess so. I don't know if you guys have heard about, this is more black news. Do you guys know who P. Diddy is? Does that mean its way to Sayville yet? P. Diddy is the black Jeffrey Epstein. He's kind of like the Lex Luthor of crime around the black community. We call him the Diddler. So what he does is this. He uses, whenever men get power, we always do this shit. I don't know, I've never heard of a powerful woman, just with a harem of young boys. But when men get power, it's like, we need the young of whatever we want to fuck. That's just the final frontier, obviously. I would hope to get so rich to find out so I can one day make that same choice. But apparently that's the way it goes. Once you get $1 billion, you have to fuck a young something. Diddy, some people have called me an apologist for men of power because I said that Michael Jackson didn't do anything wrong. Because I was like, I think that Wade Robinson boy, another kid, I think they were liars. Why would Mike want to touch their little butts? And if he did, if I was around, he could have touched mine whenever he wanted to, because that's what made him feel like a star. We have to allow our kings certain amenities. No? Is that crazy? Once in a while? I don't know. He got accused of, his ex-girlfriend Cassie, she was a part of a group called Danny the King. She was like, he hit me and he sex trafficked me across the United States. And everybody was like, hey, that's really fucked up. And she was like, yeah, and he was like, you know what, I'm not gonna pay her a cent. She wants $30 million. I'm not gonna pay her anything. Behind closed doors, she said, I'm gonna tell everybody you're gay. He was like, you know what, 30 million sounds about right. I'm gonna sign you over a check here for 30, and we'll call it even Steven. Well, the worst thing you could do in the black community is be a gay black rapper, apparently. You could be gay, you could be black, but you cannot rap also. It is widely not acceptable for some odd reason. We crossed every other boundary of being gay, but when it comes to rap, it's just, no one wants to hear that shit. You can't rap about guns and fucking girls and then be gay. I guess that's just how it goes. It sucks that it has to come down to this, because now he's in Miami, just making TikTok videos, just giggling, running across, just haha, you'll never catch me. And it's just Jesus, Diddy, come on, just get it together. Be the black diddler that we all know you want to be. What else is going on? The Nickelodeon news is pretty crazy. Once again, a man gets a little bit of power, and it gets a little crazy. Dan Schneider, I also have a foot fetish, so I kind of get where he was coming from. But my foot, how do you even get a fetish? What's the difference between a fetish and just some shit that you like? I like midgets. Is it a fetish amount? I really want to fuck a midget, but I don't want to do it as a novelty. I don't know if I want to marry one, but because it's I can't fuck you at night, help you up into the car in the morning, and then you send me some weird text about me not doing the dishes and you're all of 311. I find it hard to take orders from someone like that. But as far as the foot fetish goes, I got into that by just oddly enough. Over the pandemic, you're with one person, you guys get bored, and all of a sudden I just got into some light foot worship. And you're probably asking yourself, what is foot worship? That's very simple, actually. Just take your religious figure, take away that figure, put in foot worship. Very easy, honestly. Yeah, you don't have to fuck it or pray to it or anything like that. Just, I worship God in my own way. You know what I mean? I haven't been to church in years. I still, bow my head, do my thing. Same thing with feet. Still bow my head, do my thing. What else came out? What's funny? I was looking at the news earlier today, and I saw that. You know who Gypsy Rose is? Mm-hmm. She was a girl who had munch-out. Well, her mother screwed her over and made her feel like she was sick all the time, and then her and her boyfriend killed her mother, more or less. So she got out of jail a little bit early. She did 8 years instead of 10, second-degree murder. When she got out, she got married immediately, got divorced 3 days ago. I've been in one relationship during that time. She's out here just killing it, however you want to word that. But it's just she's on to suitor number 2 after a divorce. I'm like, what the fuck? I gotta get on my high horse around here. Just learning new things in life. I went to the doctor and he was like, hey, I think you need to get a colonoscopy. I'm like, you can just go to the doctor and, we'll figure it out. He was like, yeah, you go there and they'll let you know what's next. And it turns out whenever you go see a gynecologist, what is it called? A gastrointestinal. The gastro, we'll call him. But, I don't know why I had gyno in the mind, sorry. Whenever you see a gastro, the next step is you're gonna need a colonoscopy. And then I realized, I was like, I gotta talk to the guy first and find out what type of man he is. What if he's having a bad day and I'm his first patient and he's just ramrodding him? What if he has big hands? There's so many things I need to find out about this man. And then whenever I do anything, I try to make it easier for the person doing it for me. If I go to the dentist, I'm gonna brush my teeth and floss really well. So when I go to see him, I don't have a hairy ass, but should I shave what's left? I want him to look as presentable as can be. When he looks at it, he should look at it like I would if I would. I want him to be like, hey, the job wasn't so hard today. This guy made the job a little bit easier, He smokes a Newport Light outside. He's like, huh, that's what the job's all about. And they showed me the size of the tube, and I'm just like, I'm not bragging, but I have a tight little starfish. I really do. It is just snug. It cuts turds about yay big, look like pellets actually, all the time. Never anything bigger than that. It's not built to have a hose yay long, yay thick, inserted into. And then I realized how I'm always, I would never ask anybody to do anything that I'm not willing to do. And I remember how many times I've asked girls to do anal and I've pled with them and I'm just like, I'm sorry. Never again. I will never ever ask another woman to do anal. Ever again. And I come from a very my dad, very homophobic. We don't let anything touch our butts because that's the way my dad made sure that he raised us because he was just afraid of homophobia was gonna get him somehow. So when we were kids, actually, my dad just needed a kidney. He did not get the kidney because you needed a colonoscopy beforehand, and he didn't tell his wife because he didn't want somebody touching his butt. So he was willing to die over that shit. When we were growing up, he was he would do little tests to make sure that I wasn't gay. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm good. But as I got older in life, the first time I had sex with a condom on. And after we had sex, my dick blew up. And I was like, all right, that, who do you ask about that? I didn't really have a go-to guide on that. Google wasn't really up and running yet. It was the early 90s. So I was like, okay, that sucks. So, we did it again, practice safe sex. Happened again. I was like, oh my God, I think I'm gay. I'm allergic to pussy. This is how you find out. What else could be the reason why? My dick would be betraying me like this. I was like, no, I love her. I love it. It's happened very quickly. I don't even think it's in long enough to find out. I mean, come in 3 seconds. But I was like, it's rejecting off of just that alone. I'm like, so I'm walking around school like confused. There's no one to tell. There's no one to ask. I can't ask a friend like, hey, when you fucked your girl for the first time, your dick blew up, right? We just weren't having that conversation. So I'm like, maybe I'm gay. So I was literally walking around school, eyeing up my best friends. I'm like, Mark looks good in his oshkosh. Tim's athletic, so I could see why they like him. I guess if I was going to go for a man, I'd want him to be good at basketball. And then I realized that my Catholic friends had a direct lifeline to God. That little booth that they go in and they talk to, you said you got full anonymity when you go in there. You can just talk to him about anything and he won't tell a soul. I remember crying, going to their church. Hey, they didn't sing at all, pretty boring. The cracker and the juice sucked too. I think you guys use prune juice in your church, and you gotta go with grape. I don't know what's going on with that. I get to him, I'm like, I gotta tell you something. He's like, what, my son? I'm like, I've been trying to have sex a few times, and my dick has been exploding and swelling. And he's like, I'm sorry to hear that, my son. And I was like, does this mean I'm gay, Father? And he was like, I'm not sure. He was like, what I think you need to do is see a doctor because it just sounds like you might be allergic to latex. I've never, I prayed for 2 weeks I prayed so hard. Luckily that's what it is, but now I use that excuse now that I'm allergic to latex. And I was like, we gonna see it? Tim, how much time do I have?
You got 2 minutes.
2 minutes? All right. I'll give you another good one. My testosterone is a little bit low, my doctor said. And I could tell because the first time I went back to New York City after the pandemic, I was like, all right, you get on the train, a couple of crazies are on the train, you're like, fuck. This guy comes on the train, he's harassing this woman. I'm like, all right, I gotta fucking, puff my chest out and fucking fuck this guy up. And my voice that I wanted was like, I wanted to sound like Charleston. I wanted to sound like the guy from Planet Apes. Someone like, get your damn dirty hands off her. But it sounded like the guy from Back to the Future. What's his name? Charleston. Is it not Charleston Heston? What's the kid from the name from Back to the Future? Crispin Glover. And I was just like weak and my breath would really come. I was like, hey, you cut it out. And he was, what the fuck you say to me? I was like. And I realized after that, I was like, all right, I gotta get my fucking tea up somehow. And I'm like reading how you take home testosterone. Never take home testosterone. It will fuck you up. I think I lost my hair because of home testosterone. Because now I'm a bald black man and it fucking hurts me every day to look at